do this if I wasn't sure. How you doing, people? Let's go. This is what we need to be doing. We need to be standing up for ourselves, and we need to be checking out exactly what's going on. You're fully within your rights, you know, to go out there and check exactly what the news is telling you. Don't accept what they tell you. Do not accept it.
Don't accept it.
Don't accept it.
That's 3 hospitals so far.
Yeah, 3 hospitals, right? Luke is a fucking warrior. He put himself on the line yesterday. Went to 2 places. Selyoke Hospital. They had ambulances lined up outside. A day later, my man's here, and he's gone there. It's fucking empty. Come on, man. It's blatantly a lie. Let's get together, people. We love you. We're warriors. You're warriors. You're just by you sitting here and looking at us, watching this feed. You're a warrior, brother, sister, Muslim brother, Sikh brother, any kind of brother or sister out there. That's what you are. Empower yourself, and we'll have your back. We promise we'll have your back, because we know you'll have our back, and that's how it goes.
So we're in the QE. This is Birmingham's fucking main hospital. It's fucking huge, massive. And at the moment, as you can see, there's fuck all going on here. If I get caught out now, because I'm in here, so I'm just gonna have a little visual around. Look how busy it is with the fucking the massive surging cases and stuff and everyone dying. Look how fucking busy it is, guys. Absolutely fucking dead. I know there's many wards, many fucking wards to this place, but you'd think that on a seasonal, you know, influenza that we get, I seen it across the Sunday once on the main page, front page, NHS overwhelmed by fucking influenza. You know, people in the corridors and stuff. No cunts in this corridor. None of them. And I've walked to another place too. I walked for quite another different place. I'll have a look now, see a bit further down here. There's nothing down here, just toilets. I've just got toilets down here now. So I'm going to mince back up here and see, because I'm expected to get my door took off. However, no known fixed abode. Power to the people. Come take my door off, fucking mugs. So, we'll see what I've got to say for themselves. They can nick me here, but I'm light on my feet. I'll get away, I reckon. I'll get away. But this is Birmingham, so everyone spread this. This is Birmingham. This is the real news. This is what the journalists are failing to do. They're not presenting any of this. So we are the people, we are the news.
Now, the number of patients being treated for COVID in hospitals across the UK is above 30,000.
It's a pandemic. Where is everyone?
Are you a reporter or something?
No, I'm just a member of the public. I'm paying for this, so I want to know where the money's going. Where are they? Bloody joke.
You don't want to answer it? Okay, that's good. No, just close it now.
It's very quiet here. What happened? Did coronavirus take a holiday? I thought the hospital was overwhelmed. It's empty.
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, anyway, Merry Christmas. There's no one here. This is how quiet the hospital is. There's no one here. It's completely dead. Coronavirus must take a holiday at Christmas. I don't know where any sick people are here, but there's no one here. Why is the hospital so empty? Well, what happened to coronavirus? Where is it? All right, take care.
They wanted a urine sample from me, so they let me go to the loo. But it then meant I had to get up in front of everybody, like all the people on the trolleys, relatives, porters passing, security, trotting down the corridor, with having left blood on the trolley. And it's quite a personal, embarrassing thing to kind of be in that kind of situation. So to have to kind of walk past everybody and go and sort myself out, it was all really quite degrading. There was nothing that the staff could have done to avoid this, I don't think. The doctor had to kind of interview me in the corridor to find out what was going on. Having left blood on the trolley. Having left blood on the trolley.
I feel like it's a little bit tense at the minute. Everyone's tired, everyone's drained out from the year. I feel as ready as we can be. I came into nursing because I wanted to make a difference. I go home at night knowing that I've made someone's life that little bit better by the actions that me or my colleagues or that we've all done today. Someone's slightly better, someone's on their way home, someone's family feels slightly more comforted, and that is the best feeling in the world. That's why you do your job.
I'm looking after many more sick patients than I normally look after. It's just overwhelming, the whole situation. It's just overwhelming, the whole situation. It's just overwhelming, the whole situation.
On the 10th day of Christmas, the NHS gave to me 10 nurses zoning, 9 cleaners cleaning, 8 porters porting, 7 remote doctors, 6 blue fighters, and space, 4 theatres flowing, 3 crates of masks, 2 surgical gloves, and a hospital that's COVID-free. On the 11th day of Christmas, the NHS gave to me 11 weeks of lockdown, 10 nurses zoning, 9 cleaners cleaning, 8 porters porting, 7 remote doctors, 6 blue fighters, and space, 4 theatres flowing, 3 crates of masks, 2 surgical gloves, and a hospital that's COVID-free. On the 12th day of Christmas, the NHS gave to me 12 swabbers swabbing, 11 weeks of lockdown, 10 nurses zoning, 9 cleaners cleaning, 8 porters porting, 7 remote doctors, 6 blue fighters, and space, 4 theatres flowing, 3 crates of masks, 2 surgical gloves, and a hospital that's COVID-free.
It's just overwhelming, the whole situation. It's just overwhelming, the whole situation. It's just
The next few weeks could be the biggest challenge the NHS has faced in its history, and it will be its staff who will bear the brunt for all of us.
This pace, I think we've got about a week.
Staff fear burnout.
I'm here. The nurses are broken. The physical and mental load is huge.
The toll is immense.
But my emotions are all over the place. Scared, sad,
petrified, worried.
The demands on staff are unrelenting, and on their families too.
All the COVID patients. Where are they all?
Who are you?
I'm a member of the public.
So why do you want to go to the COVID?
Oh, I'm just wondering where they all are.
And I'm always struck by the professionalism and dedication of staff.
It's a pandemic. Where is everyone?
Are you a reporter or something?
No, I'm just a member of the public. I'm paying for this, so I want to know where the money's going. Where are they? Bloody joke. How did I get in? Sorry. Where are they? Bloody joke. Empty, empty, empty. Where is everybody? I wonder. Fucking joke.
Intensive care nursing is highly specialised. Usually
Where are they? Bloody joke. Outpatients.
Intensive care nursing is highly specialised. Usually they're one-to-one with patients, now responsible for 3, 4 or 5, with other staff filling the gaps.
We're so stretched we have to prioritise.
I'm going to walk down to the A&E department now, see if anybody's down there. Bear in mind that this is the only hospital in the county, and this time of year is usually absolutely rammed. Yeah, I did, bro. I'm trying to walk in heels down here. Right, going round to A&E. Look at all them ambulances, look. Absolutely rammed. Swept off the feet.
The number of COVID patients in London's hospitals has doubled in just 2 weeks. They're more stretched now than at the peak last week.
We've got 3 times as many critically ill patients in this hospital than we normally have. And we've managed to stretch and spread to cover that, but that can't go on forever.
Where are they? Bloody joke. Okay. Where are they? Bloody joke. Empty. Empty, empty, empty. What a surprise. I think that's all for today, folks. As you can see, just a guy chilling over there, just sitting down. Lovely job.
Texting, like all these other EMT drivers I've seen sitting around, just texting.
The demands on staff are unrelenting, and on their families too.
Lovely job. Bloody ridiculous.
One person.
Tonight, as paramedics finish their last shift of 2020, they're readying themselves for a challenging January as the new variant sweeps across the country.
Hiya, just seeing how many people we've got in here. Not very many.
Pressure is intensifying as almost half of all major hospital trusts in England care for more COVID patients than at the peak of the first wave. Tonight, ambulances
This is the London hospital. They told us it's bursting at the seams. It's A&E.
The British Medical Journal says critical care units are over capacity across London, the east and southeast of England. And as infection rates rise, London's Nightingale Hospital is now being ready to help cope with demand. Tonight, as paramedics finish their last shift of 2020, they're readying themselves for a challenging January as the new variant sweeps across the country.
Very very different, and I think that's what makes it so much scarier for us as nurses and doctors and porters and, you know, healthcare assistants and everyone else who's working on the front line. We have children who are coming in. It was minimally affecting children in the first wave. We have a whole ward of children here, and I know that some of my colleagues are in the same position where they have whole wards of children with COVID. 20 and 30-year-olds with no underlying health conditions are coming in. You know, it's people that also aren't aware of how sick they are.
The demands on staff are unrelenting, and on their families too.
Every part of the United Kingdom is now in lockdown, with people being urged to stay at home as the scale of the public health emergency becomes even more daunting. Such is the depth of the COVID crisis that the lockdown measures are widely expected to remain in force probably until March.
We've now vaccinated over 1.1 million people in England and over 1.3 million across the UK. And that includes more than 650,000 people over 80, which is 23% of all the over 80s in England.
Yes, hosta. Just wondering where all fucking bodies are. Apparently this is fuck all happening. It's dead. Oh, hello. This is the way out. This is the way out the back end. This is where the ambulances are. That's where the ambulances are. That's where you come in with the ambulances. There's fucking nothing here. It's bullshit. Hospital staff only. Doing what they're doing. Fuck off. Yeah. It's empty. Fucking empty. That's the overstretched that I need. Overstretched my ass.
But we know that winter is always a tricky time for the health service. So is this just standard winter pressures, or are things worse because of the coronavirus? This graph shows us the number of emergency admissions to hospitals in England dating from June 2015 to November this year, which is the most recent data that we have. And this shows us that although there are some fluctuations, with numbers typically rising around the winter months, the number of emergency admissions is not higher than at similar points in the last few years.
Good afternoon, sir. Where are you today?
We're at the outpatients in the City Hospital.
City Hospital in Nottingham?
In Nottingham, yeah.
Central England?
Yeah.
And due to the COVID crisis, I guess it's going to be packed solid here, isn't it? A critical point.
Yeah.
Oh. It's empty?
Yeah, just like the QMC was.
Well, our government wouldn't lie to us, would they? About this COVID massive pandemic where millions of people are dying.
No, never.
And it's empty?
Yep.
Security's looking at us from the window on the side there, to your left.
Oh, security looking at us?
Yeah.
Shall we go and talk to them?
He's just there.
Oh. Hi, security. Are you busy? I guess not. Anyway, I think we'll leave it there. That speaks for itself, doesn't it?
So as we await the announcements on the further extensions of the lockdowns across the country, including London, I'm here in West London, outside one of the major hospitals in West London, Ealing Hospital, to see, is there a crisis in West London?
British Medical Journal says critical care units are over capacity across London, the east and southeast of England.
So as you can see, very quiet indeed inside the hospital, much quieter than it would normally be on a midweek day. So the hospitals aren't busy in West London.
Tonight, as paramedics finish their last shift of 2020, they're readying themselves for a challenging January as the new variant sweeps across the country.
Let's go and check out a couple of the testing centres. So this is Featherstone walk-in COVID testing centre. Very, very small trickle of people I've seen come here since I've been here, but very, very few indeed. And here is Ealing's second testing centre at Gurnell's Sports Centre. Absolutely no one in sight. You can see the security member of staff just inside the doorway, but not a single person arriving or leaving. And again, no queue. So as we can see, if there is any COVID crisis in the NHS, there certainly isn't in Ealing.
Salisbury District Hospital. 2 cars there. Two ambulances here. Medical staff only. Yeah, it doesn't look like really A&E here. Oh yeah? Yeah, just wondering how busy the COVID wards are today.
I don't know how busy the COVID wards are because I don't work down there, but up here.
Right. Is it next door?
Yeah, are you booking in?
No, yeah, I was just wondering if how busy it is because I've heard there's a pandemic, so I was wondering kind of.
There is a big pandemic and it is really rising at the moment. It is.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm just doing an audit. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Okay, just sort of curious as to how many.
Not cool.
It only says that there's been eight deaths related to COVID from March 2019 to February 2020.
Only 8?
So yeah, 8 deaths. So I'm just thinking it doesn't really warrant, causing a pandemic.
Yeah, I understand what you mean.
Over, so I'll just... Okay, cheers.
Yeah, don't really look that busy, really.
At the Derby Royal Hospital, empty. Level 2, empty. Let's go on to level 3. Empty. Just one nurse walking down. Empty. Empty.
Tonight, as paramedics finish their last shift of 2020, they're readying themselves for a challenging January as the new variant sweeps across the country.
Since the pandemic began last year, the whole United Kingdom has been engaged in a great national effort to fight COVID. And there's no doubt that in fighting the old variant,
Been through all the walls.
our collective efforts
Just no one in them. No one in them.
have continued to work. But we now have a new variant.
There's just no one about at all.
And it's been both frustrating and alarming to see the speed with which the new variant is spreading. Our scientists have confirmed
I'm
this
struggling
new
to find
variant is
someone.
between
It's just
50
unbelievable.
and 70% more transmissible. That means you're much, much more likely to catch the virus and to pass it on. As I speak to you tonight, our hospitals are under more pressure from COVID than at any time since the start of the pandemic. In England alone, the number of COVID patients in hospitals has increased by nearly a third in the last week to almost 27,000. And that number is 40% higher than the first peak in April. On the 29th of December, more than 80,000 people tested positive for COVID across the UK, a new record. The number of deaths is up by 20% over the last week and will sadly rise further by thoughts are with all those who've lost loved ones. With most of the country already under extreme measures, it's clear that we need to do more together to bring this new variant under control while our vaccines are rolled out. In England, we must therefore go into a national lockdown which is tough enough to contain this variant. That means the government is once again instructing you to stay at home. You may only leave home for limited reasons permitted in law, such as to shop for essentials, to work if you absolutely cannot work from home, to exercise, to seek medical assistance, such as getting a COVID test, or to escape domestic abuse. The full details of what you can and can't do will be available at gov.uk/coronavirus. If you're clinically extremely vulnerable, we're advising you to begin shielding again, and you will shortly receive a letter about what this means for you. And because we now have to do everything we possibly can to stop the spread of the disease, primary schools, secondary schools, and colleges across England must move to remote provision from tomorrow, except for vulnerable children and the children of key workers. Everyone will still be able to access early years settings such as nurseries. We recognise that this will mean it's not possible or fair for all exams to go ahead this summer as normal. The Education Secretary will work with Ofqual to put in place alternative arrangements. We will provide extra support to ensure that pupils entitled to free school meals will continue to receive them while schools are closed, and we will distribute more devices to support remote learning.
So there you go.
I completely understand the inconvenience and distress this late change will cause millions of parents and pupils up and down the country. Parents whose children were in school today
No pandemic here.
may reasonably ask why we did not take this decision sooner. And the answer is simply that we've been doing everything in our power to keep schools open, because we know how important each day in education is to children's life choices. And I want to stress that the problem is not that schools are unsafe for children. Children at school are very unlikely to be severely affected by even the new variant of COVID. The problem is that schools may nonetheless act as vectors for transmission, causing the virus to spread between households. Today, the United Kingdom's chief medical officers have advised that the country should move to alert level 5, meaning that if action is not taken, NHS capacity may be overwhelmed within 21 days. Of course, there's one huge difference compared to last year. We're now rolling out the biggest vaccination programme in our history. So far, we in the UK have vaccinated more people than in the rest of Europe combined. With the arrival today of the UK's own Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine, the pace of vaccination is accelerating. I can share with you tonight the NHS's realistic expectations for the vaccination programme in the coming weeks. By the middle of February, if things go well and with a fair wind in our sails, we expect to have offered the first vaccine dose to everyone in the 4 top priority groups identified by the Joint Committee on Vaccination and Immunisation. That means vaccinating all residents in a care home for older adults and their carers, everyone over the age of 70, all frontline health and social care workers, and everyone who is clinically extremely vulnerable. If we succeed in vaccinating all those groups, we will have removed huge numbers of people from the path of the virus. And of course, that will eventually enable us to lift many of the restrictions we have endured for so long. I must emphasise that even if we achieve this goal, there remains a time lag of 2 to 3 weeks from getting a jab to receiving immunity, and there will be a further time lag before the pressure on the NHS is lifted. So we should remain cautious about the timetable ahead. But if our understanding of the virus doesn't change dramatically once again, if the rollout of the vaccine programme continues to be successful, if deaths start to fall as the vaccine takes effect, and critically, if everyone plays their part by following the rules, then I hope we can steadily move out of lockdown, reopening schools after the February half-term and starting cautiously to move regions down the tiers. I want to say to everyone right across the UK that I know how tough this is, and I know how frustrated you are, and I know that you've had more than enough of government guidance about defeating this virus. But now, more than ever, we must pull together. You should follow the new rules from now, and they will become law in the early hours of Wednesday morning. Parliament will meet largely remotely later that day. I know that the devolved administrations in Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland share my conviction that this is a pivotal moment and they're taking similar steps. The weeks ahead will be the hardest yet, but I really do believe that we're entering the last phase of the struggle, because with every jab that goes into our arms, we are tilting the odds against COVID and in favour of the British people. And thanks to the miracle of science, not only is the end in sight, but we know exactly how we will get there. But for now, I'm afraid you must once again stay at home, protect the NHS, and save lives. Thank you all very much.
The virus is clearly out of control, and there's no good the Prime Minister hinting that further restrictions are coming to place in a week or two or three. That delay has been the source of so many problems. So I say, bringing those restrictions now, national restrictions within the next 24 hours, that has to be the first step to controlling the virus. On schools, I don't want to add to the chaos that will be caused by having all schools closed tomorrow. Many will be closed. It is inevitable more schools are going to have to close, and the government needs a plan for children's learning, but also for working parents. So it is inevitable that there is going to close many more schools. But the more important way is the national restrictions need to come in the next 24 hours. Let's not have the Prime Minister saying, I'm going to do it, but not yet. That's the problem he's made so many times. Nationwide lockdown. The Prime Minister is hinting that that's going to happen, but he's delaying it again. And we can't afford that again. We can't allow the Prime Minister to use up the next 2 or 3 weeks and then bring in that lockdown that we've been able to do it now. That's the necessary first step to get the virus back under control.
This view comes it's important for children to be in school where possible. It's important for their mental health, their well-being. It's important for the parents as well. Schools are safe, and those parents that have the option to say
everybody wants children back in school. There's nobody that would argue with that. Of course, that's what we would do. It is inevitable that some schools won't be open tomorrow morning. We know that. The Prime Minister's accepted that. It's inevitable more schools will close. I don't want to call for the closure of schools tomorrow morning and add to the chaos, but we do need to recognise that it's inevitable that more schools will close, and we need a plan in place to deal with that. But it can only be part of a wider strategy that has a national lockdown in place in the next 24 hours. The Prime Minister's hinting at it, but he's not doing it. But we can't afford that delay again.
You say it's inevitable more schools will close. Do you think all schools in England should close, and if so, when?
I'm not saying all schools should close. Nobody wants that. That should be the last resort, not the first resort. The national lockdown that's necessary has to come first. We can't have retail open in some places and schools closed, but it is inevitable, I'm afraid.
Well, the leader of the opposition, Sir Keir Starmer, joins me now from Westminster. Very good evening to you, Sir Keir. I suppose it gives you no pleasure in saying that you've been calling for something like what the Prime Minister announced for some time.
Well, we are in a very serious situation, and the figures are stark: the number of infections, the number of admissions to hospital, and tragically the number of deaths. And we have called on the government to take this step. I don't want to quarrel at this stage. I think the measures the Prime Minister has outlined are necessary. We will support them, and I think what the country wants to see is everybody pulling together to do our level best to get through this. It's very important that people heed the government guidance, particularly the stay-at-home message. So whatever quarrels or challenges I have with the government, with the Prime Minister, in a sense tonight, the really important thing is to say that we support these measures, and we're all under a duty, I think, to do whatever we can to make them work.
And you would accept, though, wouldn't you, that the Prime Minister is acting from the right instincts in trying desperately to keep the schools, or as many of them as possible, open?
Well, nobody wants to see schools closed, and that should always be the last resort, but sadly it's inevitable that they will be. I think what's important now is that we, if you like, remake the contract with the British people, which is you put up with these restrictions, tough restrictions. This is going to be a really hard number of weeks. In return, the government gets that vaccine rolled out as quickly as possible. We were the first country to get the vaccine. We need to be the first country to have the programme of vaccination carried out. That has to be the basic contract. But I think tonight what's important is that everybody follows the new rules, the new guidance. This was sadly inevitable, and we just have to make this work in the coming weeks.
Are there any measures do you think the Prime Minister missed out on? Is there anything you think he should have done?
I think the most important thing is the messaging and, if you like, the spirit of March, because compliance is absolutely critical now. That spirit of stay at home. I'm glad the Prime Minister mentioned victims of domestic violence and domestic abuse, because that has been a really big issue. But as I say, whatever other quarrels I may have with the Prime Minister, I think tonight what the country wants to see is people pulling together to say that we have to follow these new rules. We have to make this work. These are going to be really, really tough weeks.
Yeah, and we're drawing parallels with what happened in March. And as you point out there, the big difference being there's a vaccine here, and we're racing to get that into as many people's arms as possible. I want to ask you, though, about the issue of enforcement. Looking back to March, April of last year, we saw different police forces taking different approaches. Do you think it's important, particularly when it comes to this issue of travelling? And we know that some countries introduce 5-kilometre rules and things like that, no crossing countries, in saying that you've been calling for something like what the Prime Minister announced for some time?
Well, we are in a very serious situation, and the figures are stark: the number of infections, the number of admissions to hospital, and tragically the number of deaths. And we have called on the government to take this step. I don't want to quarrel at this stage. I think the measures the Prime Minister has outlined are necessary. We will support them, and I think what the country wants to see is everybody pulling together to do our level best to get through this. It's very important that people heed the government guidance, particularly the stay-at-home message. So whatever quarrels or challenges I have with the government, with the Prime Minister, in a sense tonight, the really important thing is to say that we support these measures, and we're all under a duty, I think, to do whatever we can to make them work.
And you would accept, though, wouldn't you, that the Prime Minister is acting from the right instincts in trying desperately to keep the schools, or as many of them as possible, open?
Well, nobody wants to see schools closed, and that should always be the last resort. But sadly, it's inevitable that they will be. I think what's important now is that we, if you like, remake the contract with the British people, which is you put up with these restrictions, tough restrictions. This is going to be a really hard number of weeks. In return, the government gets that vaccine rolled out as quickly as possible. We were the first country to get the vaccine. We need to be the first country to have the programme of vaccination carried out. That has to be the basic contract. But I think tonight what's important is that everybody follows the new rules, the new guidance. This was sadly inevitable, and we just have to make this work in the coming weeks.
Are there any measures do you think the Prime Minister missed out on? Is there anything you think he should have done?
I think the most important thing is the messaging and, if you like, the spirit of March, because compliance is absolutely critical now. That spirit of stay at home. I'm glad the Prime Minister mentioned victims of domestic violence and domestic abuse, because that has been a really big issue. But as I say, whatever other quarrels I may have with the Prime Minister, I think tonight what the country wants to see is people pulling together to say that we have to follow these new rules. We have to make this work. These are going to be really, really tough weeks.
Yeah, and we're drawing parallels with what happened in March. And as you point out there, the big difference being there's a vaccine here, and we're racing to get that into as many people's arms as possible. I want to ask you, though, about the issue of enforcement. Looking back to March, April of last year, we saw different police forces taking different approaches. Do you think it's important, particularly when it comes to this issue of travelling? And we know that some countries introduced rules and things like that, no crossing county borders. Shouldn't we be doing something like that here in the United Kingdom because of the new variants that are around in some parts of the country and not yet established in others?
Yeah, we need real consistency here, and the more this can be a four nations approach across all of the four nations, the better. But I felt very strongly in March, April, that what matters most for compliance is that people understand the message. There's no mixed messaging. The vast majority of the British public have abided by the rules in the past, and I'm sure will abide by these rules. So enforcement isn't the issue for there. Where there needs to be enforcement, then of course consistency, and consistency across all four countries, I think, helps massively with that.
Yeah, but just on that consistency, do we need more officers at, for instance, railway stations, questioning people, making sure that they have to travel, they absolutely have to do that, even roadblocks, saying, well, listen, going to collect a takeaway or something like that is not a valid excuse for being out and about?
Well, you know, I think it's very difficult for police officers. They did a very, very good job in March and April. In the end, I think, you know, we do this very much by consent. Very important, therefore, that we all say the same thing. It's why we will support the government in this. The vast majority of the British public, so long as they know what it is that's expected of them, I think will comply with it. Where they don't, then of course the police need to take action. That's completely understood. But for I can't stress enough how much the vast majority of the British public have endured a lot in the last 9 months.
Oh, wake up, people. Waking the people up.
The number of emergency admissions is not higher than at similar points in the last few years.
How to give a hospital news broadcast for any UK news show. Start with a news presenter standing in front of an ambulance and provide imagery to ensure that those who haven't had a panic attack today will certainly get one now. Interview a member of staff who is wearing 642 masks and an astronaut's helmet and provide them with a script full of terms such as concerning, fatal and critical to ensure that everyone at home watching is made to feel as if they're minutes away from death. And finish by summarising the devastating scenario and provide any depressing negative statement about the overwhelming national decline in health and the ever-weakening NHS. Margaret Crumpets, ITD News.
This is very highly contagious. Each person can spread this to 4 to 5 people in an enclosed space, and each of those can spread it to 4 to 5 people. So one person can infect hundreds of thousands of people. But this is very highly contagious. Each person can spread this to 4 to 5 people in an enclosed space, and each of those can spread it to 4 to 5 people. So one person can infect hundreds of thousands of people. Anyone who's listening to this, who doesn't wear their mask, who behaves like this, they have blood on their hands. They're spreading this virus. Other people will spread it, and people will die. But this is very highly contagious. Each person can spread this to 4 to 5 people in an enclosed space, and each of those can spread it to 4 to 5 people. So one person can infect hundreds of thousands of people.
Excuse me. My dear, are you trying to find your way out? Huh? Are you trying to find your way out? No, oh, okay. All right.
Nice and empty for you? No.
Texting, like all these other EMT drivers I've seen sitting around, just texting.
Tonight, as paramedics finish their last shift of 2020, they're readying themselves for a challenging January as the new variant sweeps across the country.
Texting, like all these other EMT drivers I've seen sitting around, just texting.
Emergency departments are seeing this tsunami in the last week or two of cases. The wards are flooded. Everyone's working at maximum stretch, really. We've had to double up on, or sometimes triple up on consultant staff in. The nursing staff are back to being very overstretched. In some areas it's one ITU nurse and 4 patients again. And the numbers are still rising.
What kind of conditions then are people coming in with? How are they presenting there?
It's exactly the same. So this quotes new variant. We should be a bit clear on this. I mean, its severity of illness caused by it is no worse or better than the first one. It's not a nastier type of the virus. And its transmissibility is indeed a little bit higher. But it's making me actually very angry now that people are laying the blame on the virus. And it's not the virus, it's people. People are not washing their hands. They're not keeping 2 meters distance. They're not wearing their masks. I've seen delivery people coming into this hospital in the last 2 days with no masks on, as if there's nothing happening here. This isn't the virus, this is people. People are not doing what they should be doing. People are not washing their hands, they're not keeping 2 meters distance, they're not wearing their masks. People are not washing their hands, they're not keeping 2 meters distance, they're not wearing their masks. People are not washing their hands, they're not keeping 2 meters distance, they're not wearing their masks.
Absolutely quiet as a mouse here. Back end of Mac Hospital. Well, this is one waiting room at back of Mac Hospital. Beziers hustling and bustling, full of COVID patients.
People are not washing their hands, they're not keeping 2 meters distance, they're not wearing their masks.
Jesus, man. I tell you something. To see this is unreal.
People are not washing their hands, they're not keeping 2 meters distance, they're not wearing their masks.
Ghost hospital, innit? See the back end of Mac Hospital. Seats have even been put away because they know they're not getting people. Turned around and put away, look. Turned around to the footed wall. That tells you that no one comes here. Well, you have it, folk. There's a bit of proof for you at this back end of this waiting room. Absolutely nobody.
And I want to see my friends and family and hug someone, but we can't. We just can't do this right now. So I'm really, really sorry that this New Year's Eve is going to be miserable, but it has to be. Please don't gather in masses. Don't make this the last swan song. Don't give it a, well, it's all going to be locked down, so we'll have one more night out. Because we can't have another spread of this. We're going to, you know, it takes 10 days for someone who's infected to hit an intensive care unit. So the bad behaviour that might have happened over Christmas, we're not going to see that until next week. And if people behave badly on New Year, we're not going to get that hitting us until the 8th or 10th of January. Anyone who's listening to this, who doesn't wear their mask, who behaves like this, they have blood on their hands. They're spreading this virus. Other people will spread it, and people will die. People are not washing their hands, they're not keeping 2 meters distance, they're not wearing their masks. But this is very highly contagious. Each person can spread this to 4 to 5 people in an enclosed space, and each of those can spread it to 4 to 5 people. So one person can infect hundreds of thousands of people.
They wanted a urine sample from me, so they let me go to the loo. But it then meant I had to get up in front of everybody, like all the people on the trolleys, relatives, porters passing, security, trotting down the corridor, with having left blood on the trolley. And it's quite a personal, embarrassing thing to kind of be in that kind of situation. So to have to kind of walk past everybody and go and sort myself out, it was all really quite degrading. There was nothing that the staff could have done to avoid this, I don't think. The doctor had to kind of interview me in the corridor to find out what was going on. Having left blood on the trolley, but it was all had to be done in the corridor because there was just no other option. There was no space to go somewhere to have a quiet private chat, or there was no option for that. Having left blood on the trolley.
Doors are locked to this one. Wonder why that is. Can't even get access to it. Telly's off. What does that tell you? Nobody here, folks. Doors are locked. Look. Locked. This is outpatients area.
People are not washing their hands, they're not keeping 2 meters distance, they're not wearing their masks. People are not washing their hands, they're not keeping 2 meters distance, they're not wearing their masks.
Tell you something, you won't believe it till you see it yourself.
Tonight, as paramedics finish their last shift of 2020, they're readying themselves for a challenging January as the new variant sweeps across the country.
Somebody dying there. Jesus.
This is very highly contagious. Each person can spread this to 4 to 5 people in an enclosed space, and each of those can spread it to 4 to 5 people. So one person can infect hundreds of thousands of people.
That, but it was all had to be done in the corridor because there was just no other option. There was no space to go somewhere to have a quiet private chat, or there was no option for having left blood on the trolley.
People are not washing their hands, they're not keeping 2 meters distance, they're not wearing their masks.
That corridor, not wash.
That it all had to be done in the corridor because there was just no other option. There was no space to go somewhere to have a quiet private chat, or there was no option for
Is it supposed to be hectic here, isn't it?
Which one?
Is it supposed to be hectic here?
It is, yeah.
Where are all these patients?
On the other side.
What's going on down here? All the rooms are empty, aren't they?
Yeah, but they are like clinic rooms, they are not hospital beds.
Yeah. Not buying it, mate. Not buying it. Not buying this at all. Telling us there's loads of COVID patients.
Yeah.
We're in a mass pandemic level 2.
Yeah.
Doesn't look hectic to me outside.
If you go towards the A&E, you'll notice that.
So if I go down to the A&E front end, I'll see Hustle and Bustle down there.
Yeah.
I'll take a look. This is our livelihoods count on this.
Yeah.
Because they're changing the way of life, you understand that, don't you?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
You understand what's going to be happening, don't you?
Yeah.
Global reset, that's what's happening. All our futures are doomed.
Yeah.
You probably don't get that, but you need to look at what's happening. You been down? I've seen enough. I'm going to get kicked out of this. You've got security following me around.
Having left blood on the trolley.
What did they say? People spending nights in hospital? Spending nights in hospital? Where? Yeah.
Having left blood on the trolley.
Yeah, fucking hurt, man. Too. No happening there, is there?
So we're in Shrewsbury Hospital this morning on the 27th of December 2020. And we've been treated really well here. We've not been questioned about masks or sanitation or anything. We've been treated really respectfully. The hospital, for the size of the hospital and the fact that these places are normally snowed under with patients, as you can see, the entire hospital everywhere you look is completely and utterly dead. It's weird, it's odd. Very, very odd. But I have to commend the staff here. They've treated Debbie. She has to have this non-contrast MRI scan. She can't have the contrast because the last 2 times she's had this contrast, it's caused all sorts of problems with her, basically. But, you know, I just wanted to let people know that we're in a massive hospital here. It's completely and utterly, it's desolated. It's like it's been abandoned. As you can see, wherever you walk around the hospital, it's exactly the same. But they have treated Debbie really well. They've questioned us. They've not insisted on anything. Questioned us not. And we're very, very pleased. But it does, it's like a ghost town. Absolute ghost town here today.
There you go, so one last shot. This is Leeds Teaching Hospital. And that's the entrance to the A&E. And there was actually literally 1 or 2 people about. A couple of ambulances. And that's about it. Nobody coming in and out of A&E. Middle of the week, middle of the day, should be the busiest time. I had to see this for myself.
Tonight, as paramedics finish their last shift of 2020, they're readying themselves for a challenging January as the new variant sweeps across the country.
Like all these other EMT drivers I've seen sitting around, just texting.
Hello, good morning. Welcome to Breakfast with Roger Johnson. Our headlines today. 6 million more people in England are now under the toughest COVID restrictions as much of the south and east enters Tier 4. All of mainland Scotland is put under its tightest rules, and Northern Ireland starts a 6-week lockdown.
just had a little walk round William Harvey Hospital. It's amazing how far you get round this place if you just walk round like you own it. It's not exactly ramming in here.
Emergency departments are seeing this tsunami in the last week or two of cases. The wards are flooded. Everyone's working at maximum stretch, really. We've had to double up on, or sometimes triple up on consultant staff in. The nursing staff are back to being very overstretched. In some areas, it's one ITU nurse to 4 patients again. And the numbers are still rising.
What kind of conditions then are people coming in with? How are they presenting there?
It's exactly the same. So this quotes new variants, so we should be a bit clear on this. I mean, its severity of illness caused by it is no worse or better than the first one. It's not a nastier type of the virus. And its transmissibility is indeed a little bit higher.
This
but
is Ashford,
it's
Kent,
making me actually
where
very
apparently
angry
we've
now.
got this mutated
People are
strain
laying
that
the
is
blame
really
on the virus, and it's not the
putting
virus.
pressure on the NHS.
People are not washing their hands, they're not keeping 2 meters distance, they're not wearing their masks. I've seen delivery people coming into this hospital in the last 2 days with no masks on, as if there's nothing happening here. This isn't the virus, this is people. People are not doing what they should be doing.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Right, that's William Harvey Hospital in Kent, in Ashford.
Good morning, it's Saturday, December the 26th, Boxing Day. Belated Happy Christmas from me. Our top story today, 6 million more people in the south and east of England are now living under the toughest level of coronavirus restrictions, Tier 4, which means that they must stay at home unless it's for work or education. Gyms, hair salons and all non-essential shops are also closed, as Emily Union reports.
A return to lockdown, with more shops, pubs and restaurants across the UK forced to close to try and slow rapidly rising infection rates thought to be caused by a new strain of coronavirus.
The government have done the right thing. The variant in the coronavirus is out of control, so they had to do something.
I was expecting it at the end of the day, with the numbers going up, and everyone has to live through this, so if it's going to keep us safe in the end, that's really good, and I'm quite happy.
The tougher measures could be enforced for months.
But we mustn't give up now. We know that we can control this virus. We know we can get through this together.
Asked the nurse, I said,
we're going to get through it by
I'm surprised
suppressing the
you're so
virus
quiet. She
until
said,
a
yes,
vaccine
it's
can
lovely.
make us safe. That's been our
Smashing that,
strategy.
isn't it? People
and that's
losing
what we must do.
everything.
New Tier 4 restrictions were imposed on
standing
London
around,
and parts
the
of
wards are
Essex and
empty.
Hertfordshire at
I've been in
midnight on
A&E,
Sunday.
there's 2 other people
This
I've
morning,
seen.
most of southern and eastern England are joining them. The rules
Oh,
are
look,
similar to the
another
last
empty
lockdown
corridor.
in England. You must stay at home unless you need to travel for work or education.
Let's see if we
You
can
may
find
only
another
meet
ward.
one person at a time outdoors. Non-essential shops should shut, and unless you have a genuine reason like caring for someone or going to work or school, you mustn't leave a Tier 4 area. Other parts of England are also moving into higher tiers, with only the Isles of Scilly now left in the lowest Tier 1.
I think beds would be lining the corridors, wouldn't you, if there's a pandemic going on in this country? But no, nothing. Absolutely nothing. What we in now? Absolutely nothing. Respiratory department.
People are not washing their hands, they're not keeping 2 meters distance, they're not wearing their masks.
I'm now outside. I'm going to go to the A&E where the ambulances are. I might just run because it's a bit wet. This is the main A&E department. I've got to get back in there now. Right, so there's A&E. Completely empty. Absolutely no cars. Nothing. Absolutely disgusted and outraged. That was A&E, by the way, so no ambulances. Pandemic, guys, pandemic. Absolutely disgusting. No pandemic here. No pandemic in Chester.
People are not washing their hands,
Absolutely
they're not keeping
appalled.
2 meters distance, they're not wearing their masks.
This is the main entrance. Got me. That way. Thank you. You see what it's like. can't get into A&E that way.
There you go.
I can't get into A&E that way.
Oh no, you've got to.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I'll go back the other way.
You know either way, yeah?
Yeah.
Just follow it to the right.
Thank you. You busy? No. Is it always like this?
At this time, yeah.
That's why I've got chicken in the morning. Stepping on them bin bags, mate. Heisenberg. Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
Walter White. Hard to believe Walter White.
Okay now. Dropping like flies they are. Not. Boris Johnson and Matt Hancock. You are going to pay for this. This is my local hospital. Oh, I can't even get in. So back at A&E, because I've got to go in this way. So this is the ambulances. This is the way I came in before. No one here. No ambulance. No, nothing. Nothing. And when I arrived, there was nothing. I arrived in an ambulance, by the way. There we go.
And I want to see my friends and family and hug someone, but we can't. We just can't do this right now. So I'm really, really sorry that New Year's Eve is going to be miserable, but it has to be. Please don't gather in masses. Don't make this the last swan song. Don't give it a, well, it's all going to be locked down, so we'll have one more night out. Because we can't have another spread of this. We're going to, you know, it takes 10 days for someone who's infected to hit an intensive care unit. So the bad behaviour that might have happened over Christmas, we're not going to see that until next week. And if people behave badly on New Year, we're not going to get that hitting us until the 8th or 10th of January. Anyone who's listening to this, who doesn't wear their mask, who behaves like this, they have blood on their hands. They're spreading this virus.
Disgusting.
Other people will spread it and people will die.
Miners waiting room. So I've walked all around.
Weaving through the capital, a picture of urgency. The coronavirus coupled with winter makes for a cocktail of mounting infections. London and the southeast of England are feeling the strain, with the capital's ambulance service receiving 8,000 calls on Boxing Day. It was one of their busiest days ever. Paramedic Richard is on the front line.
I think there's three factors really. One is there's a number of staff who are off sick either with COVID or isolating as a result of family members who've got COVID. We're seeing an increase in workload because of patients with COVID or with difficulty breathing, and the ambulance crews are often spending several hours at hospital waiting to offload their patients.
Texting, like all these other EMT drivers I've seen sitting around, just texting.
Which means there are less ambulances available. So we see a number of calls waiting, and certainly I've experienced patients waiting several hours for an ambulance currently.
Right, it's the 30th of December 2020, 8 o'clock in the evening. I've just watched the news today, and the government has said that all the hospitals in London are overwhelmed. It's worse than the first wave. There's 53,000 new cases yesterday. Hundreds of people are dying. That the hospitals are worse than the first so-called wave of coronavirus. So I've just come to Croydon University Hospital to see if the government are telling the truth and the hospitals are overwhelmed. So I'm just outside now. I'm just going to walk up and see if this place is overwhelmed with coronavirus victims. So I'm outside now. Just going in. never seen this place so empty. This place is usually packed solid. This place is usually packed. I reckon there's people being treated in the waiting areas that I'm going in. I reckon there's so many cases that they can't pick which ones to deal with. I reckon they're serving people in ambulances because there's no rooms, there's no beds. Well, I can't see none of that going on here. The place is empty. They said this hospital was the busiest hospital in the first wave in South London. I know people who work here, they said it was empty, just like today. No one anywhere, look. Disgusting lying government. You've got people who won't come to hospital. People are dying because they're scared to come to hospital, because the hospitals are overwhelmed. Does this place look overwhelmed to you? Disgraceful. Go to the A&E. Right, I'm outside the A&E emergency department. 3 ambulances parked up, not doing nothing.
Texting, like all these other EMT drivers I've seen sitting around, just texting.
A couple of guys in the accident emergency. Doesn't look like they're overwhelmed, doesn't look like they're doing operations and all kind of stuff in the ambulances because the hospitals are so packed. Yeah. Despite the lies the government are telling us, the hospitals are not overwhelmed. They are not overwhelmed. Does that look overwhelmed to you? This is not even an ordinary day in Mayday Hospital. Urgent treatment, empty. Look at this place. A joke. This is a joke. This is what the government are telling us. Lies after lies after lies. On a normal day, this place would be heaving with people. I'm filming. Just leave me alone, bro. You just step away from me, yeah? I can do what I want. I can do what I want. This is the lies. This is the lies that the government are telling us. This place is meant to be overwhelmed. Yeah? Hey, go away from me. Go away from me. Go away from me. Go away from me. I'm exposing the lies the people you work for are telling us. The lies, yeah? So this place is meant to be packed solid, yeah? This is meant to be worse than the first wave. Croydon University, Mayday Hospital. Government lies. Government lies. I do what I want. Do what I want. Let's go around to the emergency treatment piece around here. Look at that, meant to be overwhelmed. There's meant to be people everywhere. Yeah? Complete lies. Government lies.
Queen's Hospital, Romford, absolutely empty. Hardly anyone here. And this is meant to be overwhelmed. Funny that. 1st of January 2021. Nobody here. Great pandemic, people. This is really a pandemic.
It's the very last day of the most wonderful, glorious year ever. 2020.
31st of December.
31st of December 2020. There's a car behind me, so I'm just going to move on. Now you can see here we're at the Queen's Medical Centre. So all the news channels the last few days have said the hospitals are at critical. There are people on beds dying.
Well, look, the ambulance staff are talking to each other because they're that busy.
The hospitals are that critical. People are dying on beds.
They all seem to be sat around doing nothing. Ambulances there, ambulances there.
You all right, lads? You all right?
Yeah.
Busy?
Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, not too bad. Yeah, not too bad.
Thanks very much. All the best.
Texting. Like all these other EMT drivers I've seen sitting around, just texting.
Best.
Busy my arse.
As you can see, it's dead. Dead as. There aren't people on beds queuing up outside the hospital. There's nobody here. This is the 31st of December 2020 and the hospital is empty. And for the second part, we're going to go to accident and emergency. Did everybody get that? It's the 31st of December 2020. The hospitals are not critical. Our governments are fucking lying to us.
Did you see the security staff paying attention to us as we were filming then?
They've probably got nothing else to do. I mean, there's such massive queues here of people dying.
They were about to come over to us, but as we carried on...
Oh, yeah, you can't film here.
Yeah.
Well, point the camera at me, mate. Point the camera at me. If somebody says to you, you can't film here, it's against the law, ask them what law. Or ask them, if they don't mention the law, is it against the law? Because apparently it's not against the law to film in public. And here you can see there's redundant ambulances. There's a man...
No one in there?
Man smoking a cigarette.
Look, he's cleaning the handles.
You all right, mate? Are you busy?
Texting. Like all these other EMT drivers I've seen sitting around, just texting.
Thank you very much. Just seeing how busy the hospital is. I want to make sure you guys are okay. Thank you. Look, emergency, it's empty. Can you see that?
Yeah.
Absolutely empty. So there you have it, people. The absolute critical condition that this hospital is in.
Okay, good afternoon everybody. So here I am, I'm outside Gloucester Royal Hospital just to show you how dead it is amongst this bullshit that we're living in. So let's cross over the road. You can't normally park here. This road is normally packed with cars and I found a space straight away. This is the parking on the road where there's a meter. And then of course there is a big car park and normally you can't park anywhere. So very quiet. As expected. Lots of ambulances parked outside A&E. So this is Gloucester Royal Hospital. I'm going to have a walk up now towards the entrance, the main entrance. What I'm going to do, and I hate doing this, but I want to try and get into the hospital, I'm going to put a scarf up around my face just so I can kind of go incognito if I have to, just so I can get into the hospital and see what's going on. completely against my religion, of course, to put anything over my face, but if it means I can get a glimpse into what's happening in here, which, to be honest, is a complete waste of time because I know it's going to be dead. I just want to prove it to people. Right. So there we go, another ambulance pulling in. That must be most of the ambulances that they use outside the hospital that are parked up outside. What I'm going to do as well, because obviously if they see me filming, the security guards are going to get a bit funny. I might just lower the phone as I walk into the hospital. Okay, so here's the entrance. Look, it's absolutely dead. Look at this. Ghost town. Never seen it so quiet. Where's the second wave? Where's all the people dying from the second wave, hey? Where are they? Share this, folks. This is proof. We've just been locked down in Gloucestershire into Tier 3 for an empty hospital. Look at it. This is a disgrace. I've never seen, oh my God, look at this. It is so dead. Please do not sit here. Yeah, not much chance of that, is there? All the people in our country desperately waiting for treatment, cancer treatment, heart disease. Look at this. Honestly, this is making me so angry walking around here. This is making me angry. Share the hell out of this, guys. Truth. Look at the truth here. Do not come back to this place with bullshit when there's a completely empty hospital I'm walking around. I'm so angry. Not only am I angry for all the people, look, I'm looking into a ward. Look at this ward here. What is this ward? Minor injury units. This is the minor injury unit. Oh my God, look at it. All the people at this time of year that would normally be in here not being denied treatment. This is a disgrace. I am so angry. To be honest, I wasn't expecting it to be quite as this. I expected a few more people around. There's absolutely nobody. No security. Where's the security staff? I haven't even seen them. Lights off in there. Cardiology. Look, lights are off. What a joke. Look at this. Macmillan. This is disgusting. Macmillan cancer table. Of course, Macmillan, for those of you that don't know, have been key in the privatisation of the NHS, where these huge companies, pharmaceutical companies, have come in and taken over and privatised everything. Remember that. When you do these stupid things online for Macmillan, don't get involved. They are a disgrace. Macmillan is a disgrace. So the canteen is closed. The shop, I've been in this hospital before for various things, and this shop is normally open and very busy. Right, I'm going to walk round to A&E now, because I think that's key, is to see what's going on in A&E. Can I get through to A&E this way? I don't think I can. Right, I'm going to walk back outside again. Oh, 2 people. I've literally seen about... I've got a scarf... sorry, I'm exempt, actually. You shouldn't be asking me. Yeah, you shouldn't be asking me about that. Thank you. Bye. Thank you. None of your business. 2 stupid old women asking me why I'm not wearing a face covering. Not in the mood for the bullshit today, I'm really not. Look at this. They have even, I mean, what's this all about? They're obviously using this as an opportunity for doing some sorts of building work here, where it's so dead and quiet. So this is the A&E department. I'm literally going to walk right up past, if I can get through here. I don't know how far I can go down. Okay, so I'm going into A&E. Let's just have a look. So we've got 3, 4, 5, 7 people in A&E. So in the whole of the hospital today, I've literally counted less than 15, 20 people. An absolute disgrace. Absolute disgrace. All the people being denied emergency treatment. So there we go, folks. I'm going to stop filming because I've walked around quite a bit of the hospital. I've seen enough. It's confirmed to me. In fact, it's confirmed to me that it's far quieter than I expected. Completely dead. Nobody here. An empty hospital. Wards shut down with the lights off. Not even any security staff. Let's just look what's going on in the back. I'm just very curious. Look at this here. Looks like he's just having a sort out of the back of the ambulance because he... so busy that they've got time to sort out the back of the ambulance. Look at that. Crikey. And I know from talking to paramedics normally in the NHS, they don't have time to be doing things like that. That's how busy, that's how quiet they really are. there we go. So share this. Gloucestershire, we've just gone into tier 3 for this. An empty hospital. Where's all the COVID cases? Where's all the people dying? Where's this mutant virus, Boris Johnson and Matt Hancock? Take that to Richard Graham, to our wonderful local MP, Siobhan Bailey. Is this what you've locked us down for? Destroyed our communities, taken away the lives of our elderly, of our children, robbed us of Christmas for this. I am disgusted. Please share this, everybody.
But as the government tries to save lives first, the pandemic curve is climbing. And the number of people testing positive in England rose by 58%, according to the latest test and trace figures. Separate statistics show that on the week starting the 12th of December, around 1 in 85 had COVID in England, compared to 1 in 95 the previous week. In Northern Ireland, it was 1 in 180. In Scotland, 1 in 140. In Wales, there was a steep rise, with 1 in 60 estimated to have COVID-19.
I think we've got more inpatients now than at the peak of the first wave, and that shows no sign of letting up at all. And actually, the case rate around here is rising. This is a degree of busyness that none of us have ever seen before, really. And, you know, what with the hospital getting increasingly full of patients with COVID, you know, it's only a matter of time, really, before we go over our capacity.
Right now, we see still...
And with warnings a new variant could account for half of UK cases, Christmas won't be all that's lost to COVID.
These restrictions were implemented so late, we cannot do really anything for the New Year's. We will see a peak of infections then. Hopefully, the latest March will help us to just start going back to something relatively normal.
Ninth floor. Doors open. Going down.
Oh, see you later, darling. Take care.
Doors closed. Doors closed.
Okay, so there's a ward. There's some nurses in there, but can't see any patients in there at all. So these are all the main wards at Gloucester Royal Hospital that I've been accused of not checking. So I'm here and I'm checking. I've managed to get all the way up here. Now here's this ward, should be really busy. It's quite quiet to me. Okay, I'm going to go down right to the next floor. Hold on, let's just check if there's another door here. No. Okay. Actually, I might do the stairs. The stairs are probably the most... So sorry, my phone keeps shutting off because I've got storage issues today with the amount I'm doing on my phone. But I'm back in Gloucester today, and I thought I'd pop to the hospital again just to prove my point about the wards here. So I'm up in the block where there are wards, because yesterday I just walked around the main corridors to show how quiet it is. And yesterday I went into A&E. So today I've gone into the block with all the wards in, which if there are COVID patients that are dying of the second wave and dying of the mutant virus, then they will be in some of these wards. So I'm literally going to go and check through the windows of every ward in the hospital. I'm doing that now, so just follow through with me. Hopefully I won't get chucked out. Right, going on to the next level. Okay, just waiting for the hospital porter to go. Okay, right, hospital porter's gone. I'm going to have a look through the windows now. So this is again. Looks very quiet in here. No hustle and bustle, no people in the corridors on trolleys. The usual scenes we used to see at very busy Christmases. Very, very quiet. Okay. So I'm going to go down to number 7. So, I'm proving my point today. I'm up in the wards that should be overflowing, should be packed with people, and very, very quiet here. Not much sign of anything. Okay, number 7. I can see somebody in a bed in that ward with one nurse, but it doesn't look very busy in here at all. Quite funny. Hospital porter keeps bumping into me. Doesn't seem too bothered about what I'm doing. Right. Oh, this hospital's so busy. I can't get down the stairs. Absolutely packed. Ah, dear. Right. Ward number 6. Ward number 6. Ward closed, no visitors allowed, and this is elderly ward. Now, if there's going to be lots of COVID patients filling up the corridors and the wards, it's going to be here at Gloucester Royal. Let's have a look. Quiet, very quiet. Let's just have a look in this one. A pair of feet sticking out of the bed. That's all I can see. Okay, had to lower the phone there because there was two nurses coming through. Right. So if there's any ward, that ward I've just been onto, that should be overflowing with COVID patients, with the second wave, the mutant wave, it should be that ward, but very quiet. And just bear in mind, as I've been saying to everybody else, we've been locked down into tier 3 for this. We're supposed to be high risk at the moment, high risk of the virus. So I'm just standing outside the entrance to ward number 5 because there's some staff stood outside with a patient in a trolley, so just not.
Can you get some shoes, please? Could you not put some underwear on at least?
Listen,
she's got a dressing gown on. That's nothing else underneath. She just got
Listen, we've explained a number of times that given a chance is to go and get dressed.
I know.
She needs to do that.
I know. Can you not just give her one chance more?
Well, you may do, but at the minute she's in handcuffs. Can you get some shoes, please?
Yeah, that's
Okay.
Catching my hands.
Okay.
Let them go.
You've got plenty of room, haven't they?
You're treating me like a criminal. I'm not a criminal. Will you
Listen.
take these handcuffs off?
Listen.
Deb, can you ask if you can put some clothes on underneath?
Can you put some clothes on and we'll get his custody,
What sort
okay?
of society is this when you
Right,
come into
go
a woman's
straight in,
house
get
outside
some
her
clothes on,
bedroom
right?
door and intimidate her
Debbie.
with no clothing on?
This is your last
What
chance.
sort of society is
Go put
this?
some clothes on for me, please, alright?
Look at you, you're behaving like a Nazi. Look at you. Look at yourself. Look at yourself.
Deb, don't push
Let
her
me go
anymore.
and let
Just
me
get
get
Keep your
dressed.
hands down to your side
And
for
do
me,
not
please.
stand outside my bedroom door.
Go and get dressed, me,
Wait
please,
down
Debbie.
there
No, I'll
in
wait
my
here.
house.
I'll wait here,
Wait
please.
down there.
Deb, put some clothes on, otherwise you're going to go like that.
You're not.
Deb,
You should not
I'm
stand
not
outside a
going to give you
woman's.
another opportunity. Go and get dressed for me,
Do
please.
not come
I'm
near
trying to
my
be polite.
bedroom.
I'm not
Do
going to
not
your
come near
bedroom.
my bedroom.
I'm not going.
Okay, good afternoon, everybody. Here I am. I'm outside Gloucester Royal Hospital just to show you how dead it is that we're living in. Okay, so here's the entrance. Look, it's absolutely dead. Look at this. Ghost town. Never seen it so quiet. I'm so angry. Not only am I angry for all the people. Look, I'm looking into a ward. Look at this ward here. What is this ward? Minor injury units. This is the minor injury unit. Oh my God, look at it. All the people this time of year that would normally be in here not being denied treatment. To be honest, I wasn't expecting it to be quite as quiet as this. I expected a few more people around. There's absolutely nobody. No security. Where's the security staff? I haven't even seen them. Lights off in there. Cardiology. Look, lights are off.
Camera, get you a bit of everything from start to finish. So coming down here, this here should be rammed. Should be people all on this corridor, all here. Should be people here. That's to dismantle fucking Nottingham, isn't there? But there's one sort of semi-nurse. I think she's a nurse, don't know. But this is what we're dealing with. So I'm going to go downstairs now, I'm going to go out the front and I'm going to take you to accident emergency. Because I've seen this place fucking rammed. I've been waiting in accident emergency when I was younger a lot. And I'm telling you now, this is not how busy this place gets at all. And we're in fucking mid-flu season as well. Every fucker's scared to come to the hospital. Because the fear mongering has worked. The fucking propaganda from the mainstream media has got out there. Oh, back to the nurses and stuff. Tell me about this door. We've got an ambulance and up here, so we'll see what the crack is here. Bear with us. So, nothing going on here either. Flip you around. So this isn't accident and emergency, this is like a main reception. It's not a huge hospital, but we're all overwhelmed. Are we not? Can you see it? Yeah. Nothing here. Oh, nothing here. My ambulance outside, it's just dropped an old man off. And he did look unwell, but he's old. So, again, not teeming. Can't really say that, to be fair. And they're just sat in there chilling, literally chilling. But all of them. That's not full whatsoever. Fucking seats there. I've been in here before, I've had to sit on the floor. Broken leg and that, or broken foot. Sit on the floor. And this here now. This is how busy they are, they're all sat in here. I'm going to try and get them as if I'm not. See what I can do. This is our workers. Here's what they do. So they're going out now to go and get their information that they need. Well, they don't know I'm filming. You got a clue. But sat in there doing fuck all. He hasn't moved yet. I mean, every single one, I think it's the same. Doctor just come out of here. So yeah. This is how busy it is, guys. This is what we're dealing with. Real news. These fuckers clearly ain't. Just sat here on their fucking phones.
Texting. Like all these other EMT drivers I've seen sitting around, just texting.
Not looking at the right stuff at all. So, again, we took a trip to another hospital to see for ourselves, because if you tell me it's raining Baby Bells and Skittles, I'm going to go and have a look. Okay? Because I'm not easily misled. You're just to scare shit out of you. And there's nothing happening. Hardly anyone here. This normal day today is fucking busier than this. There ain't no normal day today anymore, is there? So, everyone can do this. Everybody get outside. Just go to your local hospital, make a little video, and pop it online. We have to be the truth. We're not, the truth's not going to be put there for us. We have to make our own truth, don't we? So just come down here and get your phones out, and everyone's fucking upload it. Everyone put it online. Everyone share shit out of this because they're lying to us. Yeah, even you people that don't believe in us anti-maskers and anti-vaxxers, you think we're fucking all crazy. This is proof, isn't it? Is this not proof that what they're telling you does not quite match when I'm showing you the real proof? I'm not paid off. I don't work for anyone. I'm telling you the truth. We've got fuck all going on here. Fucking sham. So Redditch Hospital, Redditch at one point, Bromsgrove, where I'm from, it had one of the highest infection rates in Hereford and Worcestershire at one point. So we're testing what they're telling now, and them fucking lying. So I'm going to visit some more tomorrow. We're all going to visit some more, so the lads are getting on it tomorrow. I just got a bit excited and thought, fuck, I'm going today. I wanted to go up. A bit antsy, just wanted to go. So the rest of the lads are going to be jumping on this, and we're all going to be doing it. I think everyone should too. Everyone jump on board. Let's get the truth out there. We can do this. All right, for now I'm going to sign off. It's been a pleasure reporting the truth, real news.